I really do enjoy keeping many of the rare and harder to find fish here in the fish tank barn. I've been asked on occasion, where do you find these fish? And how do I go about finding rare fish like you have in the barn? So today I want to show you some of what I think are the rarest fish in the fish barn, and also tell you the story on how I came to acquire these fish. So let's dive into the fish barn and get started. So let's first take a look at these Vienna guppies. While guppies themselves aren't rare, this strain of guppy is rare in the United States. I've had these fish for about a year and a half, and they have a pretty interesting story. So Corey from the Aquarium Co-op bought them in Germany when he went to Interzoo back in 2019. When he returned to the United States, he brought these fish back with him, got them through Fish and Wildlife, and then started breeding them in his own fish room. Jimmy from the Aquarium Co-op acquired some of these fish from Corey's fish room, and I was able to acquire some of these from Jimmy when he was tearing down his fish room when he was moving back to Washington from Ohio. I find these guppies to be absolutely beautiful, and I'm extremely happy to have them in my fish room, and very thankful that I was able to get some from Jimmy. So while we will see mostly live bears, I do want to show you this 55-gallon tank, which are home to some Cyprchromis. While these are not the rarest fish in the aquarium trade, they can be hard to find, don't ship well, and usually when you find them online, they're pretty expensive, usually about $20 a fish or so. I was actually extremely lucky to find these fish at a local aquarium club auction at a very reasonable price. So I ended up paying about $20 for 6 fish, and in this case, I did end up getting 2 bags of fish. As you can see, they do very well here in this 55-gallon aquarium, and I was really happy to find them locally since they didn't have to endure any travel stress of buying them online. So this is definitely an instance where being connected in your local fish clubs really worked out for me, and I was able to get these fish at a very reasonable price. So let's talk about the other fish in this tank, the Xenotilapia Bathyphilus Kekese. This is a rare sand-sifting Lake Tanganyikan cichlid that I haven't seen for sale before until I saw these at the OCA auction last November. And upon researching this fish, this was definitely a fish I really wanted to purchase, and was really happy to be able to take them home. While I have lost a few of them over the few months, I still have a small group here, and they're still doing quite well. This is definitely a fish I'm looking forward to getting fry from, and getting some more out to my fellow fish keepers. So let's head upstairs now, and talk about these Xiphophorous Couchianus that I purchased off of Aquabid. These are wild-type platies that are extinct in the wild due to habitat destruction in their native Mexico. While they're not the most beautiful platy in the aquarium trade, I really do enjoy the contrast between the white underbelly of these fish and the grayish bronze top. I have been able to breed these fish and was able to get some BAP points and pass them on to some of my fellow fish keepers. I really do think we need to keep a tank or two of Kekese type fish in our fish rooms. Definitely good to keep some of these fish around, keep them breeding, and keep them around for future generations. If I could only keep one Limia species, the Limia Melanogaster would be my favorite. What I really like about this fish is that both the males and females have very different colors and sheens, and both of them are extremely stunning. Like most Poeciliopsis live bears, these Limia are pretty easy to take care of as long as you keep them warm, and their care requirements are similar to that of guppies, platies, and other similar Poeciliopsis. I was able to find these fish in a couple of different places. I found my original group at the OCA convention in 2019 during one of the room sales, and I was also able to get some new blood for this colony a few weeks ago at the Rare Fish Auction in Chicago. And one of the things I really do like to do with live bears is if I can find the same fish from multiple sources, I really do like to start with a pretty decent sized colony to keep the fish going and keep the fish breeding. So let's take a look now at these Allodontichthys Tamazulae, which is a rare Gudaiad species. This fish is native to Mexico, and like most Gudaiads, likes cooler water. I was able to find these fish at the Gudaiad auction that was part of the ALA. So this was the first time that I had seen this fish, and I had never seen it before in any of the other places that I find Gudaiads. So I couldn't help but bid on this fish, and let's just say I made sure to bid enough money to win these fish. Like many of the rarer fish, this fish is threatened in its natural environment due to pollution from sugarcane farming. So it's definitely important that we keep these fish around to ensure they're available to hobbyists in the future. I was also able to find the Xenotoca Melansoma at the ALA G'day auction as well. Known as the black split fin, this is a rare live bear from Mexico that's not only pretty rare to find in the hobby, but also in its native Mexico. The story of how I found this fish is very similar to that of the Allodontichthys that we just spoke of. Unfortunately, these fish didn't settle in as well when I got them back from the ALA, and I only ended up with 2 fish left. So thankfully, I was able to find some more at the Chicago Rare Live Bear auction and was able to add a group of fry to the already established 2 fish. And so far, everything seems to be doing quite well. While I hadn't ranked this list from least to most rare, I would probably have to say that this is probably the rarest fish in my fish room, the Poeciliopsis Infans. I was able to find this fish at the general auction at the ALA convention in Miami, Florida. These fish were in a college collection at the University of California, and this is a fish that I feel very lucky to have. These fish were extremely small when I purchased them, but they have started to grow up now, and I'm really looking forward to getting these fish breeding and getting some more to some of my fellow live bear keepers. So as you can see from the stories, there are a lot of factors that went into finding these fish, from traveling across the country, getting lucky at a local swapper auction, and also establishing connections with local fish keepers, local fish clubs, and even national groups like the American Live Bear Association. So the one thing that I've really found in this journey is you really have to have the willingness to pull the trigger and buy the fish when it becomes available to you, because you never know, it may never come around again. So I really do hope you enjoyed looking at these stories of the rare fish in my fish room and how I came to find them. So with that being said, stay safe, stay fishy, and I'll catch you on the next video.